Good morning.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov.
Let's look on the Psukim today. What happens when Abraham goes down to Mitzrayim? It's a very famous Ramban, very important Ramban. Is it Dvarim Chadashim overnight in Israel?
Just that the United States is sending some very sophisticated planes.
Wow.
And they're expecting an attack, undoubtedly. Unfortunately and undoubtedly, and hopefully it's not true.
I mean, from Iran.
No, they're from Iran, but they're sending these F-15 special planes, and they're on the way through the Jordan or something.
I mean, Achad Abayot, if you remember, I remember as a teenager, the philosophy behind, let's say, attacking Iran, or at that time was to kill. They're always retaliating. Remember, the concept of Koel Adam in the Gemara, in the Chumash, by the Arabs, is mukhrach. If מישהו עושה לך דבר, at any cost, you have to retaliate. I mean, the decision, let's say, to do whatever they did, this is the price we have to pay. Can you imagine? And here everyone was sure that Israel already knocked down all the missiles and I mean, we need Yeshayahu or Yirmiyahu to tell us, Ma Hashem Elokecha doresh me'imach.
Right.
But באמת, you know, as a young teenager, you read the Gemara in Gittin, the fights among the Jews, the Beit Yerushalayim is surrounded. There's no food. And כלא יהויות, יש ביטוי ביידיש. כל הדברים שקורים מסביב זה אנחנו והכיסא שלנו, אנחנו But this is part of life. It's without pointing the finger to anyone. This is Yiddish, das ist ein Mensch.
Yeah.
You know, there is a fellow I know him from Lakewood, Ashkenazi guy. I saw him in Lakewood a few times. He's a Kohen. He comes to say Birkat Kohanim, even during the week in the Sephardic Minyan. Now I see him every day here. So today I asked him, are you driving every day from Lakewood? He says, yes. He and a friend are coming every morning and they're trying to run to as many as Sephardic shuls that you can say Birkat Kohanim. To me, it's fascinating, which means there is something in him that tells him, this is your mitzvah, you know what I mean? Some people are hooked for chesed, some people are hooked for this, for that. כל אחד יש לו את ה... בוא נראה פרק י"ב, פסוק י'. ויהי רעב בארץ. You realize בארץ means only Canaan. וירד אברהם ממצרימה לגור שם. It's clear that he's not coming to settle there, לגור, כן? כי כבד הרעב בארץ, the pasuk re-emphasizes כבד הרעב. Because if you remember, we looked once in the Rambam in Sof Hilchot Melachim, a person is not permitted to leave Israel unless kaved. And this is one of the ta'anot on Elimelech and his family, לא היה כבד. Fine. ויהי כאשר הקריב לעבור מצרימה, ויאמר על שרה אשתו, הננה ידעתי כאישה יפת מראה. I know it for a long time. But now that we are coming to a place like Egypt, I mean, did you ever see this Rashi, Larry? Look at the Rashi. הנה נא הגיעה השעה שיש לדאוג על יופייך. ידעתי זה ימים רבים כי אישה יפת מראה. ועכשיו אנו באים בין אנשים שחורים ומכוערים, החיים של כושים, ולא הורגלו באישה יפה גבוהה. ראשי.
Racism.
Listen to your Georgia. We are at page 56.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning. Welcome.
Should I just shut it, Rabbi? That's very hot. Yeah.
No,
Sure.
no one. No. What he meant to say is the Egyptian. He says, "You are." This is my language now. You are a beautiful blonde Jewish woman. You're very attractive. You're coming to Egypt. The people in Egypt are not used to see this type of.
So you're saying the Egyptians were very dark skinned?
No, but זה באמת רש"י מתכוון. תזכור. Remember, we associate the word kushim, but this is what Rashi really means. The people in Egypt, till today, the Egyptians are dark skinned. They are not blacks.
The common people were black, and the elite were white.
Anyway, so Abraham, good morning. So page 56.
Now, if I don't show up, I couldn't come yesterday. I feel bad because of the internet now. We've got problems.
No, but yesterday I thought to myself, Eli is not here, but thank God he walked away. Anyway, your question, I looked yesterday because I liked it very much. You need time to look.
I thought a follow-up question is that Moshe, who was born Mahu, and certainly he ate Korban Pesach. So how, you have to fit that in there.
Your question was in the Goy circumcised
Right.
person.
So I'm saying it's almost as if he was born Mahu. In other words, he never had a Milah.
See, the question really is, Maran seems to say that if a Goy circumcised a baby, there's nothing to do. This is it. It sounds like, okay, says the Rama, no, make the incision. So the Machloketi, what is the argument? Is Maran saying the mitzvah was not fulfilled, but the baby doesn't have a name of Arel?
Right.
Arel means you have a foreskin.
So there's a da'ah that eats mahut.
Right, there's actually נכון, אבל לא קיים המצווה, אתה מבין? ככה אומר,
The question is a Terumah who eat Korban
the
Pesach.
Shagat, the
So
Shagat Aryeh says exactly as he says. Shagat Aryeh says,
I didn't know there was such a da'ah.
Maran says. So the Shagat Aryeh says, this is it. The mitzvah of Milah was not done, but the baby is not Arel. As Eli is saying, perhaps he is permitted to eat Korban Pesach even though Arel.
Sorry.
He's not Arel, but he's not
Even though
Mahu.
he's not Arel, but he's not Ma'u.
Yeah.
So I spoke yesterday, a fellow knows Tanakh well, he says to me, if you know Tanakh, he said, שמואל כשתי דברים, וכל ערל לא יאכל בו, ומלת אותו אז יאכל בו. So the question is, why do you need the two? Okay, but according to this interpretation, now the Rama says you have to make an incision.
Wow.
I mean, yes, tremendous consequences. He is a Kohen, yes? A goy, a doctor, literally בברית מילה as a goy. האם מותר לו לאכול תרומה או לא? האם מותר לו לאכול קורבן פסח? לכאורה, okay, but we really have to win. I saw a lot of...
Today there's
Many. What?
He's not.
He doesn't even know that. Anyway, look a second. Take the Chumash. Look a second on page 56. There's a famine in Israel. Abraham is going down. And he says to Sarah, it's known that you are a very good, attractive young lady. And the Egyptians might. But every morning, I don't know who turns it on. I mean, every time you come in, it's
never hot.
והיה כי יראו אותך המצרים ואמרו אשתו זאת, we come in as a regular couple, והרגו אותי ואותך יחיו. If you want to put it in the right halachic context, which we never speak about, but this is, my life is in danger. The only way for me to save my life is to involve you. See, I can do whatever I take to save my life. Here, Abraham,
What's her in
56. אמרינה אחותי את, למען ייטב לי בעבורך, וחייתה נפשי בגללך. Okay, this is very famous. You take the Ramban, you have the Ramban in front of you.
And how is this helping? The only way it's helping.
Because everyone,
Because they want to
he's the
spare
brother.
Paro. But what do they spare Paro? But does Paro care? He cares about Arayot, I guess.
apparently,
Because we could just take a stock.
He cares about Arayot more than murder.
So the other people will murder him, murder Abraham, and then she goes to Paro, free and clear.
so look a second.
To the king. That's the only way you could.
כולם מדברים על זה. I mean, this is a type of religiosity. This is yes, this is no, whatever is more convenient to me.
So,
Let's look at the Ramban.
so you go to the king. Yeah, thank you.
What?
Now there's no obstacle for them to take you to the king.
Correct.
He's giving it to the king.
Normally we assume everyone is going to bargain him, everyone is going to make him an offer, or let's look at the Ramban, Perek Yud Bet, Pasuk Yud. Perek Yud Bet, Pasuk Yud. So like, which page is it for you? Because
So basically, Rabbi, Sarah's, the way Sarah looked is the same as if a Chinese person walked into this room now. Is that what we're dealing with? A complexion or just a.
she is from Scandinavia. She's a blonde Scandinavian, and you come to Egypt. Okay, page Samakdal in your Ramban. Samakdal.
Rabbi, I'll start.
Look at the Ramban Pasuk Yud. You see the Ramban. Vayhi Ra'av ba'aretz. Vayhi Ra'av ba'aretz, says the Ramban. Now you have it.
Yep.
הנה
Thank you.
אברהם ירד למצרים מפני הרעב, לגור שם, להחיות נפשו בימי הבצורת. There's a famine in Israel. He's going to Egypt. והמצרים עשקו אותו חינם, לקחת את אשתו. They took his wife. חינם means for no reason. The reason is because she's beautiful. והרמב"ן summarizes, והקדוש ברוך הוא נקם נקמתו בנגעים גדולים על פרעה, והוציאו משם, and Abraham is coming out of Egypt, במקנה, בכסף ובזהב, the רמב"ן quotes the pasuk, yes? וגם, ציווה עליו פרעה, אנשים לשלחו. פרעה sent him with the Egyptian soldiers to protect him on his way. Says the Ramban, ברמז אליו, since he is Avraham Avinu, it's a hint of the future of the Jewish people. כי בניו, so remember, according to the Ramban, the famine and what happens in Israel is basically a mini way of hinting us how we, the Jewish people, are going to be. ברמז אליו, כי בניו ירדו מצרים, מפני הרעב לגור שם. Children of Yaakov are going to Egypt. Everything that happens to Abraham now happens to us as the rebirth of our nation. So Yaakov and his children are coming down. The Hamitzrim, Yareu lahem, and the Egyptians are going to cause them problems. Veikhu mehem hanashim. Where do you see it in Egypt? כאשר אמר פרעה in the beginning of ספר שמות, לכל הבת תחיון, yes? In the original decree, Paro is offering the two midwives, kill every male baby, leave the females. This way we, the Egyptians, will have many Jewish girls. This was his plan. והקדוש ברוך הוא ינקום נקמתיו. Do you realize everything that happens to Abraham in a small way happens in the future to the Jewish people? ינקום נקמתיו בנגעים גדולים. עד שיוציאם, which page is it?
Some
Some of the, in the beginning. הקדוש ברוך הוא ינקום נקמתם בנגעים גדולים. If you read the Ramban up till now, there's nothing wrong in what Abraham is doing, yes? This is my Ramban, I gave you the wrong book. This is mine. I mean, mine.
I'll look on my phone.
Yes. Okay, listen carefully what it says. The Egyptians are sending him out, והחזיקו בהם, they pushed them to leave them, לא נפל דבר מכל מהוריו שלא יהיה בבנים, yes? Everything that happened to Abraham in a small way, happened to the Jewish people. והעניין, says the Ramban, this is a very famous Ramban that many Rishonim copied the idea. העניין הזה פירשו בבראשית רבה, רבי פנחס בשם רבי יושעיה אמר הקדוש ברוך הוא לאברהם, צא וכבוש את הדרך לפני בניך. You go, say, remember, say, you go, and start the journey before your children. ואתה מוצא, כל מה שכתוב באברהם, everything that happens to אברהם, כתוב בבניו. ואברהם, he repeats, but realize he quotes here המדרש. כמו שבאברהם כתוב, ויהי רעב בארץ, בישראל כתיב, כי זה שנתיים הרעב בקרב הארץ. Up till here, if we stop here, Abraham Avinu is a pawn, yes? Hashem is basically giving us the future of the Jewish people.
I don't know why we don't attack it on Ramban for his next paragraph.
This is why.
Everybody said we started.
This is why we bring up it. The Chokhmah is to read the Ramban first, the beginning. Up till here, no, everyone, you heard it many times before. You heard it many times before. You'll hear it time now. ודע, כי אברהם אבינו חטא חטא גדול בשגגה. Abraham made a big mistake here. למה? שהביא אשתו הצדקת במכשול עוון, is exposing his wife to a big danger, מפני פחדו, because of his fear, then יהרגו. והיה לו, you realize here he's not talking about going to Egypt. He's talking about what gives you the right
to say she's my sister.
What gives you the right to use your wife to save your life?
But we have Mordechai sending Esther in also, Rabbi.
That's 10,000 years later, right? This is Abraham Avinu.
Saving the nation. The SS saving the nation.
Mordechai saved only 2.5 million people.
Yeah, not himself.
And Mordechai did not send her. She was taken. Here he's handing them over.
He didn't send her. Didn't he send her when it?
Again, it says in the Megillah, in the beginning of the Megillah, Vatilakach. She was taken, and she was 5 years there.
Abraham didn't send her.
But this is the point. But Abraham, this plan. So the Ramban is saying, והיה לו לפתוח בהשם שיציל אותו ואת אשתו ואת כל אשר לו. This is mine from home. The commentators on the bottom are saying that here, this is.
Even if the plan is to save for where's the hishtadlut that we usually say you shouldn't rely on.
Yeah, what about hishtadlut?
They say like this. What the Gemara says that pikuach nefesh, saving someone's life permits us to do many averot. Yes. Question is, averot that I do with myself. I can drive a car. I can cook on Shabbat to save a sick person. Can I break his window to take a medicine that I need? My blood pressure is going through the roof. It's in the middle of the night, and I break the window of a pharmacy to take the medicine that I need to lower my. The Gemara in Baba Kama has a safek on it. the Ramban, I mean, this is really the argument. The argument is.
Is it analogous that when the desert
No.
only have 1 gallon of water
It's not-
and
it's
only one
not-
can survive?
not
It's not
at all.
analogous.
It's your water should you
It's
share.
your water.
Here the question is,
That's
can
not-
I expose him? Okay? Everyone agrees that if Eli has water, I cannot steal it from him to save my life. I can beg him to do it.
But Rabbi, I'm sorry, I break the window, I pay for the window, I got my medicine, I didn't die. Great,
You don't have
where's the
money.
correlation?
You don't have money. Otherwise you would have bought the medicine. You're stealing. You can't pay.
Or is
You
it
have no money.
steal the medicine?
You have no money,
I didn't
yeah.
say that. I said break the
I
window.
said
because
that
it's nighttime,
breaking the
that's
window
Nighttime.
is stealing
I thought
and
nighttime, Rabbi, nighttime. is
anyway,
also-
let's go. Anyway, this is kiyesh be. Look further.
Why does the Ramban use the word bishgaga?
Because obviously he made a mistake here.
But he looks like he did it with forethought. So-
יש באלוהים כוח לעזור ולהציל. עד כאן is up till here, it deals only of him using Sarah. Okay? But all the commentators, yes, trying to defend or to explain what he's doing. Now, now what he's saying now is much stronger. גם יציאתו מן הארץ, the departure. See, everyone loves the first word because the Ramban is criticizing Abraham. I can, after the pizza, the Cowboys take to criticize Abraham also. גם יציאתו מן הארץ, his departure from Israel, שנצטווה עליה בתחילה, Hashem says to you, לך לך אל ארץ עמו. Go to the land. What gives you the right to go to Egypt? עוון, אשר חטא, כי האלוהים, ברעב, יפדנו ממוות. You realize it's the same type of a question. If Hashem told you to leave your homeland, leave your country, to go to Israel, stay there, there is a famine, he would save you. So this is the same type of a question.
Actually, it's the opposite if you go by what they, so some say he did it because other people were involved, so he had to save them. He might have had
So
them so close.
the two is approximately 20 years after the Ramban. The two says what Eli says. It says, I have the right to have bitachon on my life. But if I have hundreds of people who are relying on me, I cannot say God is going to help me. You know? But anyway, according to this Ramban, there's no time to go into it, but this Ramban is consistent with the Ramban in Parashat Bechukotai. It says that special people, only special people have the right to go to the extreme to the bitachon. I mean, what do you want from me?
Answering Eli's question.
There is a famine.
Like you said.
Abraham should have known.
Avraham, Yosef. What do you want from Yosef? Yosef is a kid of 18, he's sitting 10 years in jail. Sarah Mashkim has a dream and he's telling him, please do me a favor.
When he gets out.
Okay, so he said it twice.
לא זכר.
ולא זכר.
ישכחהו.
Right. No, but the question is, what do you want? The answer is me and you will be obligated to do whatever we can to get out. But
At this level.
Yosef, based on the history, you were kidnapped, you saw that somehow every place you come, you are succeeding by becoming the head of the house. So this is the Ramban. The Ramban is, because your name is Abraham, you are expected to have more bitachon. This is not for us, but the concept is that people really kill. I mean, you have to see the commentators. This is two lines in the Ramban.
So problematic.
No, it's now, especially if you remember how we started today, that Abraham is telling us Hashem is, you are paving the way for the future of the. So what do you want from me? Paving the way means you are going to Egypt, the Jewish people are going to Egypt. Your wife is being taken, Paro is threatening.
Abraham is supposed to know that? No, this is Hashem.
No, but the question is, if Hashem is doing it, how can the Ramban say? The answer is,
Hashem wanted it, yeah, so what
Part of the
מה
plan.
אתה רוצה? זו שאלה חזקה מאוד.
That's very good.
חזקה מאוד. התשובה היא, the plans of Hashem are plans, but you have a free choice. אתה מבין? מה שצריך להיות יהיה. מה שצריך להיות יהיה. Which means, should Abraham ask Why is this very important? Look a second later, when, let's go now in the Ramban and Berit Ben Abetarim, look a second.
Similar, what is this whole idea? What is the problem of leaving, to going to Mitzrayim or leaving? And is there a big and there seems to be such a big punishment. Didn't Machlon and Chilion die for this, from leaving from Beit Lechem?
But this is the point, I'm not Rambam Melachim, the last one. I think you may as well give everyone a second till I open it. Open Rambam Melchot Melachim, all the way in the back. What Melachim? Rambam Melachim Perek Hey, Halakha Tet. Perek Hey, Halakha Tet. You have it all the way in the back, all the way in the back, all the way in the back. Whenever you, so David, go all the way in the back as much as you can.
Rabbi,
Up to Sefer Shoftim, Melchot Melachim, Perek Vav, Halakha Tet, on top of the page. You have it? Yes, what do you say?
is the area of Plishtim considered outside of Eretz Yisrael, or that's part of Eretz?
Israel.
It's part of Eretz Yisrael. Oh,
Look now, Halakha, אסור לצאת מארץ ישראל לחוץ לארץ לעולם. Okay, there are two ways, of course, to learn the word לעולם. לעולם means never, or לעולם means forever, yes? אלא, ללמוד תורה, או לישא אישה, which means if you cannot learn on your level or you need a special environment, one of the big Rashi Yeshivot of Yeshivat Slobodka SM in the 60s left Bnei Brak to learn in California, in nowhere. There was a minyan, היה לומד כל היום, אלא או ללמוד תורה, לישא אישה, you cannot find, or להציל מיד הגויים, you're going out to help others, ויחזור לארץ. I mean, you know that many people are saying, for instance, and this is why the Lubavitcher Rebbe never visited Israel, because he would have a question, can you leave or not? Yes? This is why Rabbi Soloveitcher came to Israel only once in the late 40s, because he was a candidate to become the chief rabbi of the people of Israel, but never came again. Why don't you come again every year? It's Rambam. וכן יוצא הוא לסחורה, אבל לשכון בחוץ לארץ אסור, אלא אם כן חזק שם הרעב, where in Israel, עד שנעשה שווה דינר חיטי בשני דינרים, which means the price of basic food, double. Okay, then he continues, skip few lines, ואף על פי שמותר לצאת, go like few lines further, ואף על פי שמותר, have a second, אינה מידת חסידות. I'm giving you a leniency. If you are on a higher level, don't do it. This is the problem with Abraham, yes? אינה מידת חסידות, שהרי מחלון, this is what you said before, Larry. מחלון וכליון, the children of נעמי, אלימלך, שני גדולי הדור היו, מפני צרה גדולה יצאו. They left, it says, ויהי רעב בארץ, ונתחייבו כליה למקום. The Rambam is hinting that one of the reasons why they died early is not because they married two Jewish or not Jewish makes a difference. How can you live? So this is what the Ramban wants from Abraham. You are Abraham, yes? Hashem has plans. You, on your personal level, have to be careful. Yes, what did you want to ask? Larry, what did you ask?
Is the Rambam assuming that all this is if you lived originally in Israel, not for us? Is this for us? Because when he says, Aval lishkon b'chutz haaretz,
he's talking to me. Why did you leave Israel? Yeah.
No, so he's not talking to me. No, because it's interesting.
No, the Shalat Tova. It's okay. He's saying if you are in Israel, you cannot leave. The Lubavitcher Rebbe has no problem
Well,
being
never in
in Brooklyn, New York. But the minute you come in, הוא אומר אסור לצאת.
Once you're in, you're in.
הוא אומר, אם אתה בפנים, כתוב ברמב"ם. Now,
And he uses the word lishkon and not lagur.
oh, it's go better. Okay, I mean, this is it. Now go now to the Ramban and Berit Ben Abtarim. Few pay, I have my own print, so look a second further. I tell you what it is. If you have this Ramban, if you have the punctuated one, רק רגע שנייה אחת. רק רגע אחת.
So Ramban has to say for Abraham, it was not Pikuach Nefesh. There are other choices. He has to say something like that, or is he saying that it was Pikuach Nefesh, but he should rely on
I'll give an
Hashem?
example. One of the people that survived Europe was Behemet, one of the Geonim Atzurim. Unfortunately, he died after he was saved from cancer in the early 50s. Anyway, Shema Tov HaShamar, he was in Kovna, the Ukrainians, the Nazis, he says, I never saw Germans. I saw Yeshayahu and Yirmiyahu. I saw Kitavot, and I saw Nitzavim. The Nazis, weird. Hashem has a plan, I don't know. So I mean, the story became famous because he saw once a few boys from Shabbat Samotka and they were shivering. He says to them, look, see the German on this roof? He has a machine gun. He has the right to do to me and you whatever he wants. How come he doesn't pull the trigger now? The answer is Hashem wants you now to be alive. Tomorrow, I don't know. But to be afraid now what will happen, you see that. He survived, believe it or not. ככה אמר, לא היו הרבה כמוהו, ככה אמר. Okay, listen now to Brit Ben Abetarim and listen to the Ramban, okay? Look at פרק ט"ו, פסוק י"ד, וגם את הגוי אשר יעבוד. See? Ramban, פרק ט"ו, I mean, this באמת, the Rambans here, each one is a major Ramban. So, listen to the Ramban. He wants to explain. Hashem is telling Abraham Avinu that the Jewish people are going to exile. This is what we said the night of Pesach. And why is Hashem punishing him later? So this is what he says here. וגם את הגוי אשר יעבוד ודן אנוכי, I'm going to judge and punish them. וגם לרבות 4 גלויות עד ששיעבדו את ישראל. 4 times the Jewish people went to major exiles, yes. Bavel, Nebuchadnezzar, the Greeks, the Romans. לשון רש"י. Okay, והדרך הפשט, okay, skip 3 lines, we're not dealing with לשין, אבל והנכון בעיניי, תקשיב, כי טעם וגם, this is, אף על פי שאני גזרתי, this is my decree that the Jewish people have to go to exile. בארץ לא להם ועבדו, this is part of my plan. אף על פי כן, לשפוט את הגוי אשר יעבודו, על אשר יעשו להם. You hear what Ramban is saying? This is a decree for me, for whatever reason, okay? Before we start to become a nation, we have to purify ourselves. But then, we're going to pay for what we did, yes? Which means, Sammy,
Even though
Sammy,
I saw that shit.
which means if you have a religious lawyer, he would say, listen, of course he killed him.
So Hashem wanted.
Hashem wanted him to die. The answer is, Hashem and Rosh Hashanah gave him. But you, using your free choice, decided to be a bully, to kill. This is exactly what he's saying, yes? Now going back with Abraham is exactly the same. Hashem has a plan that Abraham has to go, and Abraham is going to pave the way or show us the future of the Jewish people. Nevertheless, says the Ramban, and you, Abraham, on your level, should have thought twice before. והטעם, כמו שאמר הכתוב, says the Ramban, וקינאתי לירושלים. This is, by the way, one of the prophets said we don't pay so much attention but there are many prophecies there about the future. וקינאתי לירושלים ולציון קנאה גדולה. I am going to take revenge for וקצב גדול אני כותב, this is the language of the prophet, I'm going to be exceedingly angry על הגויים אשר אני קצבתי מעט ואימה עזבו לרעה. I, says Hashem, I am punishing my people for the reasons I have. You, listen. ואומר, he brings another pasuk. קצבתי על עמי, חיללתי לנחלתי, וכן היה במצרים, שהוסיפו להרע, כי השליכו בניהם ליאור. If the Egyptians will be religious and say, listen, God says so, we reluctantly are going to be the
Weapons.
weapon.
The tool, okay.
But the way they did it, says the Ramban, taking the children is not part of it.
You knew it's not murder.
Right. It says further, וימררו את חייהם וחשבו למחות את שמם. The Egyptian plan was to wipe, to eradicate. וזה טעם דן אנוכי, שאביא אותם במשפט, אם עשו כנגזר עליהם, או הוסיפו להרע להם.
But why did
He's
we have,
saying is like this. I mean, this is famous. The Ramban is saying, assuming you hear from Eliyahu Hanavi, no doubt you're not hallucinating. This man has to be beaten.
I said what?
Beaten, you have to beat up someone.
The prophet says, if you happen to hate the man,
Okay.
so you are going to give him.
Yeah,
No volunteer.
extra strength.
You are being punished for that because the only
Even
reason
though-
you chose to volunteer is, this is
It's
my.
your opportunity.
See what the Ramban is saying. The Ramban is saying later also, if you're doing it purely,
It's impossible.
it's the way you, this is why it's impossible. This is
why is the Ramban forced to have this explanation? Not forced. Why is he making this explanation? What's causing him to think like this?
the big philosophical argument here.
What did the Mitzrim do?
Religious, if you are a
Right,
real
choices.
Hasid Breslav, the guy got drunk and he killed someone. The lawyer says, Hashem,
So
by
Hashem's
the
will.
word, I killed him. On Rosh Hashanah, we believe on Rosh Hashanah, Mi Yichyeh, Mi Yamut. The answer is Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah, but you are a murderer. No, but you don't realize the fine line very often, yes? But this is really what bothers him. Yes? Then he brings the Rambam in Sefer Madar that says differently. The Rambam says Hashem never told Abraham that the Egyptians are going to be the one.
Right.
They volunteered on their own. It's a famous machloket. The Rambam says, who said that the Egyptians are going to do it? The Egyptians jumped into it. So this is the two.
Because what? Hey, but the Mitzrim.
Why does that matter?
The Ramban is saying, you overdid it. Had you just done it, okay, I'm walking, fine. You wouldn't be punished. The way you overdid it shows that you have a personal agenda, personal hate. The Rambam, Maimonides says, Hashem says the Jewish people has to end up somewhere. The fact that you took it and you started it shows. Oh shoot! You are not correct. This is why it's always to come here with water, not coffee.
But why?
We'll touch it again. If you have time, look further. It's a famous Ramban.
Rabbi, have a great day, Rabbi.
Hey, Mel's back.
I know, I heard Mal, I heard him.
Right. What's wrong with Florida, Ike?
What's,
Let him-
Mal,
Florida.